In this video, we are going to talk about the how we can minimize the expenditure, how we can minimize the expenditure of the citizens in order that they can live out freely, very easily. And okay, you know what? Okay, the life of the people, it depends upon okay the gold and the silver and the Bitcoin and the real estate. So because of which they are spending their time and energy on useless things like gold and the silver, which is not okay. They are not going to sell it out. Most of the times, they are going to keep it and preserve it for their daily, okay, divine purposes. Okay, divine purpose, especially the Indians for the God. Okay, well and good. So, what is the meaning of that? Okay, so in order to make sure that the people are not enslaved in any part of the country, okay, we need to make sure that these people, okay, the people of the land, the people of the country, they need to be really good. They need to be really good as okay they need to be really good in aspects, okay, with respect to the mm, increasing their savings. The government should try hard, but okay, instead of government making their life very easy, they're making the life very difficult because of the bills, taxes, fines, mm, other premiums, whatever they have to pay in order to sustain their life within that particular territory or any that particular country. So which means that the life has been made tougher, very tougher, okay, for survival. So the man is earlier the earlier in the 1950s or the 1960s, 1970s, the people used to live their life not for survival but for thriving. They used to fight for thriving and prospering. But right now, the people are fighting for the survival. That is the most toughest thing, okay, because their jobs are being taken out by the AI, artificial intelligence. And since the population is becoming huge and everyone is having the same number of degrees, so the skills and the talent and the craft is going to matter a lot of time. So because of which the people are facing a hell of a problems. So okay, without any waste of time, okay, let us discuss the consequences, okay, of some of the things which I mentioned here. These are the sharing and the caring systems for the country, for any particular land which you can use it right now. The cars, the introduction of the government cars, the government cruisers, the government buses, and the invention, the introduction of the government delivery system, just like the private courier services, like DTDC courier services. Okay, like that, the government courier services in the form of okay, government trucks, and the government trucks, government government tractors, and government tractors, and government cruisers, and government buses. Government buses are there, especially we know that government buses are there, but the government bosses are very important, okay, for the convenient means of transport from one part of the land to another part of the land, for one particular section to the another particular section within a single particular land. So which means okay, that is used as a only means of a transport, okay, but the bus, okay, whichever the vehicle which has the highest whichever the vehicle which has the highest the carrying capacity, like the buses, like the trucks, land cruisers, everything, okay, these cruisers, okay, okay, the government trucks, government tractors, government cruisers, government cars, which has the okay, which has some medium carrying capacity. So, okay, what the man wants, what the man wants in life is to make his life convenient. To make his life convenient, he buys out the cars. He buys out the cars and then he pays for the fuel. And this is what the reason is simple. The cars are being sold. The car should not be sold. The car should be shared. Exactly. Nobody should buy the car. Nobody should buy the car. The cars should be shared. The cars should be shared and the gold should be shared. See, remember the gold and the silver, okay, the gold and the silver and the precious items, precious metals, they should not be sold within one particular jewelry shop. Why? Because they cost more. So instead of that, the government holds the security of this gold, silver, and the precious items. And whenever some wedding functions, whenever some functions they come, okay, marriages they come, okay, whenever there will be some functions inside these, okay, so-called as families, okay, the government will come with these gold necklaces, gold bangles, and the silverwares, okay, and at the same point of time some precious metals, some precious stones, in order to help out the citizens of the country, help out the citizens of the land, in order to, okay, just sharing the gold, just sharing the gold share, okay, only the necks are going to be changed, only the necks are going to be changed, my boys, only the necks are going to be changed, only the necks are going to be changed, only the okay, women's necklaces, women's hands, and women's necks are going to be changed, but the gold and the silver does not know that they are being exchanged. The gold and the silver does not know their owner, but only the owner knows that yes, this gold belongs to me, this gold belongs to me or she. But remember, either he or she. But this is the reason the gold is sold. The gold should not be sold. The gold should not be sold. The cars should not be sold. So because of which the citizens of a country, the citizens of a country make the loans. Instead, the government should need to understand that the population density, which makes the market completely crowded, okay, and it becomes a polluted, okay, what makes, okay, so what we have to do it, we have to make sure that these people, they never ever come with the cars, okay, the exhaust pipes, the many cars having many exhaust pipes, okay, and in those cars only one man, only one woman is sitting and the four seats are empty. The car can carry five people. Then why the car is carrying only one man from one land to another land, from one point to another point? Those cars, those seats, means a lot of waste of energy is happening, hell of a waste of energy, okay, a lot of consumption of energy is getting wasted, because that energy, if it is allocated for that particular, for the other four men or women who can sit inside those particular cars, then they can, okay, move from one particular place to another particular place, and they can save their money, they can save their time, and at the same point of time, instead of five cars, instead of four other cars, instead of four other vehicles, which is having the exhaust pipes, okay, which can give out the pollution, then only one can satisfy the things. So, which means the government, they have to undertake a special invention called as the introduction of the government cars, introduction of the government trucks, introduction of the government vehicles. Yeah, so for the transport system as well as the delivery system. The transport system means what? The In India, or else in any part of the world, the government knows that the people are going for what? Yeah, the corporate jobs. Most of them, they are going for corporate jobs from morning only. So using their big cars. Okay, when they are going with the big cars, having the hell of having the big okay, having the good exhaust pipes, which is going to emit the carbon, okay, which is going to emit the carbon inside the environment, okay, which is going to kill everyone, okay, because a lot of pollution will kill out everyone. So because of to reduce the pollution, you can introduce the government trucks, government government trucks, government trucks, government cruisers, government government buses are already there. Okay, but government trucks, you need to understand. You need to understand. You government cruisers and government jeeps and government cars. Okay, which makes okay, yes, exactly. Hmm, exactly, and that too within a 10 kilometer radius system. Okay, you can do that. You can do it. You can do that, sir. You can do that. So, which means one vehicle can carry out entire load. One vehicle can carry out load. So lot of other vehicles are not coming from their gates, not coming out of the gate, and they are not moving, which means the carbon is not getting emitted and the pollution is being controlled. And at the same point of time, the fuel consumption is very very important. You can conserve the fuel because you depend upon the fossil fuels which will be converted into the petrol and the diesel, which can be saved, really well. You can understand that, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and at the same point of time, the gold, silver, and the other things, they can be shared without any cost. Why you are enslaving your own citizens? Why you are enslaving your own citizens? By selling the gold. Don't sell gold. Do not sell gold. Do not sell silver. And at the same point of time, do not sell any precious items. Okay, don't worry. Okay, keep them and give it to the your citizens for a certain period of time. Okay, means when the function is over, they will return that amount, well they will return that necklace, and okay, provide that high tight security to the functions, and then come back, finish. What is there in that? Exactly, the next day others will take it, the same necklace. Simple. The See, remember, the gold, the silver, and the precious items, they you can get it for free. You can get it for free from the earth. Have you paid enough money? Have you paid enough money, like billions of dollars or the trillions of dollars, okay, to get the gold, silver, and the okay, other precious items? So you are, yeah, you have not taken it. The government has not given to the earth any one single penny. Okay, but it is charging lot of money for the other people. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. Okay, at the same point of time, the government, okay, what is the, okay, means for gold, for silver, for precious items, they will make the loan and they will get enslaved by paying out the interest back. So which means it is very very wrong. So it cannot be done. Okay, so which means you cannot charge, okay, you cannot charge interest. First of all, you are generating the loan accounts out of the thin air. First of all, you are making out of the thin air, and at the same point of time, you are collecting the interest on top of that. And and at the same point of time, you are making sure that these people, they will never ever 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 understand that these people, these precious rare earth materials, okay, like the gold, the silver, okay, the gold and the silver, the gold and the silver are, yeah, those items, they are very good. They are very good. They are very good. They are very good. Yeah, they're very good. Yeah, and at the same point of time, these people, they want this thing. They want this thing for useless reasons, for keeping them inside the wardrobe and using it when the next function comes. Means the government knows that these items are used for only functions, are used for some functions and special occasions, which means the women, they don't wear these things daily, which means, okay, the government is enslaving the citizens of its own country for some useless reasons. I don't know. So, which means the government should make sure that these people should get the certain amount of, okay, all of these particular things without any charging of anything. Why you are charging them money? You should not charge money. Why you should not charge money for the thing that grows in the that grows in the soil. You should not charge the money. You should never ever charge the money which grows inside the soil for free. Have you paid the earth? Have you paid the motherland? Have you paid the earth enough? Right? Okay, enough of the dollars. The earth is asking dollars or what? The earth is not asking the dollars. The earth is not asking the dollars. The rivers and the seas are not asking. The rivers, the seas, the oceans, they are not asking. They are never ever asking. They are never ever asking the okay money. They are never ever asking the dollars for millions of dollars or the billions of dollars or trillions of dollars for drinking the air, for drinking water and consuming the air. Does the air is charging you dollars? Does the water is charging you dollars? No. Does the ground is charging the dollars for silver and the gold? No. Does the crops which is grows which grows in the which grows inside the soil for free, when you give out some seeds, when you plant some seeds, and when you put out some fertilizers and fertilizers and pesticides, and at the same point of time you pour out the water, which happens for free. Does the water, does you get does you have given lot of dollars? Does the government give lot of dollars for the earth? Does the government give lot of dollars for the sky, to deliver the rain? No, it happens for free. It happens for free. The crops grow for free, which means we are getting every single thing for free. Then why the hell we are paying the money? We don't know. Yes, we don't know. Means we know every single thing grows naturally. Then why we are paying the price? Yes, that's the question. Every single thing grows naturally. Your beard grows naturally. Okay, are you paying a lot of dollars to grow my beard? Am I paying a lot of dollars? No. Okay, your head gets shaven. Okay, am I paying billions of dollars or millions of dollars? Okay, so that I can ask my hair to grow? No. Am I giving a lot of dollars in order to, am I giving lot of dollars, or am I giving hell of money, hell of money, hell of billions of dollars to my nails, so that my fingernails and some my fingernails, and at the same point of time my toes nails, my toenails, yeah, my leg nail, so that they can generate for a free, so that generate by taking a fee to generate for free. No, no, they have not taken anything. That's a natural process. Your heart beats 72 times. Has it taken 72 rupees or $72 in order to beat for every single second? Means is it charging? Is it charging the money? Is it charging the money? Then how the hell the government can charge? Then how the hell the government can charge the then how the hell the government can charge for water, for electricity and everything? Huh? Yeah. Why? Why? The government, no. Remember this thing. The earth, remember this thing. The heart is here. Like the heart is here. The heart is here. The heart is here. And you know what? The heart is very, very good. It beats 72 times. And it is not taking even one single rupee, or it is not taking one single dollar to pump 72 times per minute. Okay. Are you giving one single dollar for the heart to beat? No. Hmm? Then you have to give $72. $72 per minute you have to give it. Okay, and at the same point of time, how much you have to give it for a day? I will tell you. 72 into how many minutes are there? 60 minutes into 24, 1440. So daily you have to give out 100 grand, 103 grand, $680. $680 for heart to pump out 72 times per minute, but you're not giving it. But then when you're not giving it for heart, when you're not giving it for brain, when you're not giving it for the nails, when you're not giving it for the okay, when the rivers, when you're not giving it for air to breathe, when you're not giving it for okay rivers to drink the water, okay, when you're not giving yes, exactly, when you're not giving okay the thing which grows out in the yeah, every single thing is available for free, then who these goddamn people are, okay, who are charging us the amount, who are charging us the amount the humans have invented for free. Yeah, does the stethoscope, yeah, okay, does stethoscope, telescope, take a gramophone, okay, okay, telephone, smartphone, um, smartphone, like yeah, yeah, all these medical instruments, like all these medical instruments, every single thing has been invented by the scientists for free. They have never, ever charged. They, they have never, ever charged even one single dollar for from anyone, for every single man of the world to invent such a thing. These are done by curiosity and discovery and exploration. So, which means they have done it for free. Then why the hell the government is charging it? Then why the hell the government is charging it? I don't know. We don't know. Now, next. Yeah. The government taught us with the okay, remember this thing, to reduce the population, to reduce the populous density inside the market, to reduce the populous density inside the things, you are going to go to the yeah, you are going to collect all the selling materials from all the street vendors, from the street shop makers, okay, from them, okay, and then you are going to load inside the trucks, then you are going to load that item inside the buses, then you are going to load inside the government cruisers, and then you are going to take then you are going to roam, then all the then other people, then all the street vendors, all the salesmen, okay, the street salesmen, they will be inside the one bus, and they will be going from colony to the colony, 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 and the people are not coming out, then and the people are not coming with the thousands and the okay, thousands and the thousands and thousands and the thousands of their vehicles to the markets. They are coming from the they are coming through the vehicles. They are coming through the vehicles. They should not come to the vehicles. They should never ever come through the vehicles. They will not come to the vehicles. Why? The lot of pollution. We have to save our planet Earth. And in order to save our planet Earth, we have to make sure we need to go to them. We need to go to them. We need to go to them in some 10 to 15 vehicles or 15 to 20 vehicles from each and every single colony inside one particular land. And we should not make them to come from their houses to the market, okay, by exhaust piping, means okay, by driving their bus, by driving their cars, by driving their motorcycles, okay, why, because lot of pollution will be there. Instead we will go to them, 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 and then we will ask them what you want. Yes, we will give it for free, we'll get for free, we'll get for free, we'll give it free, and at the same point of time we will okay, we will make sure these people get every single thing whatever they want. Okay, they could have came to the market and they could have taken out, right? Okay, what they will do, they will sit in their houses for free. They will come out of their house and they will do take whatever they want, okay, what they want from the market, what they want from their market, what they want from the market, what they want from their market, okay, they are going to take it, and they're going to take it, they're going to take it, they're going to take it, and they're going to pluck it, they're going to pluck it, they're going to pluck it as if they have plucked it, okay, when they have gone inside the market and they have taken and they have took it out, they have took it out and they have took it out, okay, like that, okay, like that they have, like that, okay, they are getting every single thing, they are getting every single marketplace, they are getting every single marketplace, okay, in front of their house only. They are not going to the market. The market is coming to their houses. They are not going to the market. Their market is going to come to the houses, just like the Flipkarts, like just like the Walmart, Flipkart, Amazon. Okay, is going to deliver from, okay, deliver to the, yes, exactly. The government should take care of it, so that the people will not waste their money on the fuel, exactly. And the fuel is going to be wasted, it is going to be exhausted, and at the same point of time the exhaust pipes are going to emit the carbon to the environment. The exhaust pipes are going to emit the carbon to the environment, which is going to okay, create the okay, to create some, okay, lot of, okay, which means global warming, okay, exhaustion, yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And at the same point of time, I request the government to maintain the cold storage facilities. Okay, so that cold storage facilities, very high cold storage facilities, and removal of refrigerators, because the refrigerators they promote the chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, okay, and when it is released into the environment, it is going to eat the ozone molecules. We know that, right? So which means we need to make sure this thing, it gets removed. Yeah. So removal of refrigerators, and yeah, exactly. Okay, by introduction of the cold storage facilities for everyone to keep their vegetables, okay, vegetables, green leaves, whatever they want, yeah, they can. Yes, exactly. Hmm. Yes, we need to do it for preserving the environment, for preserving the environment. Yeah. And now the next one, the government autos, the government rickshaws, the government rickshaws, the government trucks. Oh, yeah, all this thing, entire thing. Okay, it will provide the employment opportunities to the unemployed people, and at the same point of time, the people who are employed and they are completed the graduate degree, but okay, they are not able to find out the jobs. Okay, it can help them. Okay, okay, yes, exactly. The government rickshaws, the government trucks, the government cruisers, the government, every single thing can be utilized in order to create a self self-reliant system. Okay, okay, without harming the environment, without making the citizens to spend, okay, without making the citizens of any particular land to spend the money on the fuel, on the gold, on silver, on the, yeah, everything. Okay, yes, exactly. Every single thing can be done by managed by the government. Then why the government is not making the life of every single individual? Then why the government is not making the life of every single individual on this particular planet, okay, very free, very easy? But why they are making every single thing very diluted? They are diluting the quality of the earth. They are diluting, they are not concentrating the quality of earth, they are not concentrating the value of life on the earth. They are just diluting, they are just destroying the value of life on the earth. Okay, that is what the governments do. That is why the governments are useless. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, means you are going to create employment opportunities. You are going to create employment opportunities. You are going to reduce the fuel cost, because the fuel cost means a lot of people are okay, taking out the fuel in order to travel. So only few vehicles will travel, and others will sit relax inside their houses. Okay, so okay, the market delivery system. You don't go to the markets will come to you. You don't go to the markets, you just type what you want. The government will handle everything for you. Don't worry. just like the Amazon or the Flipkart. Yeah, yeah, without any exploitation. These people, this Flipkart, the Walmart and the Amazon, they have exploited you in the name of delivery charges and every single thing. Okay, so don't worry. These people, the government will take care of everything and they will do it. Okay, yes, exactly. Agriculture, nationalization, make nationalization of fertile agricultural lands inside your land. Okay, make nationalization of fertile agricultural lands. Make nationalization of how much you want. You need to understand, you need to make the nationalization of assets. You need to make the nationalization of hotels. You need to make the nationalization of fertile agricultural lands. You need to make the nationalization of schools, colleges, medical institutions, every single thing. And at the same point of time, you need to say that nothing belongs to no one owns anything. No one owns anything, and everyone works for the benefit of each other and every single person who is being getting the citizenship on this earth. No one is getting rich, no one is getting poor. Everyone is working really, really hard to consume, to consume for themselves, and so that they can help for the others to consume the goods and the services. That is what we need to live on this particular planet earth. Okay, and if you make the ownership of one particular thing for every single one, so that is going to be creating a lot of problems, except the day-to-day commodities. But if you make the ownership of the hotels assets in the name of someone, then it is going to be except the houses, the ownership of the hotels, lodges, restaurants, schools, colleges, medical institutions, what is this? Wine stores, bars, production plants, factories, industries, textiles, garments, everything. Yeah, all these things. Okay, which means some people will become very, very rich, and some people will stay very, very poor. And that is the thing I don't like. And I want every single one to work hard, every single one to bend their back, and everyone single to work hard. That is the system I preach. That is the system I think. Okay, which means these people have the right to live on this planet Earth, but they are not living on this planet Earth. I don't know why. Okay, because these people are becoming very, very hungry, very, very, very hungry. This hungry for money is making other people very, very angry, because the people who are hungry for money, they are snatching a lot of money, and they're keeping inside their pockets, and the other people are getting angry, and they're taking out what you call this, yeah, the the things, and they're hitting every single way. So which means these people, they are very, very good, and these people are very, very good, very, very good. But the problem is, these people are not understanding the main thing is that every single person inside this life has the right to life, has the right to love, prosper, thrive, flourish every single day, every single minute, every single hour, every single day, every single month, every single year, until their breath is going to stop, until their last breath, which means these people, they are depending upon the salaries. Yes, only the depending upon salary. Okay, which means their entire life depends upon the salaries, and the salaries are going to be getting in the banks, and the banks are going to lose their power, and their banks are going to kill their power by increasing their power, because the banks are selfish, goddamn selfish pricks. Okay, so which means these people, they are not. These people are very, very important. These people are very, very, very important for the land, because they are losing the patience, because as the population grows higher and higher and higher and higher, what will happen, what will happen, the people are going to get huge problems. Okay, why the people are going to get huge problems? Why? The reason is simple, but it is quite shocking, because more and more people are getting the same degrees, same degrees, same degrees, same qualifications, same everything. Okay, which means the jobs, where to give the jobs, how to give the jobs. That's the reason people are getting the very deadly toughest question papers, and at the same point of time, they are not able to clear the exams. Okay. which means this thing, this particular thing, and this particular thing. Okay, so this particular thing is very very important. This particular thing is very very important. You need to understand. Okay, the nationalization of fertile agricultural lands is very 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 important for you, for everyone. For everyone. Okay, and those who will allow it, they will get all the facilities for free. They will get all the facilities. They will get all the facilities. Remember this thing. They will get all the facilities, and those people who will not cooperate, exactly, they can return out their assets. They can return their assets, but pay the high taxes. Understand? Pay out the high taxes. Pay out the high taxes. That is what I am teaching. That is what I am. Okay, that is what I am saying. Okay, the government should go after the methods like this in order to make sure that people inside your land are protected very well. And the agriculture, yeah, everyone is sitting and eating their life, sitting, and someone is working very hard. And the people who are working on agricultural fields, they are bending their backs. They are working really hard from 9 to 5 or 9 to 7 or 9 to 9, sometimes midnight, in order to make the daily demands of them. Okay, daily demands of them. Okay, really 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 in real life. But these people are getting exploited because of the middleman and everyone. And at the same point of time, everyone is sitting and eating, and everyone is paying some pennies, and they are getting the most important thing, that is crops. That is crops, processed crops, the crops, processed crops, and the crops, processed crops. And remember this thing, the crops, they don't have any arrogance. The crops, they grow in the soil. Okay, because of the photosynthesis process. Because of the photosynthesis process, because these people, they are getting the photosynthesis process, and then when these people are getting the photosynthesis process for free, and they are getting the crops for free, but still they are paying out the money for free, then why you are not giving? Remember this thing. Then why you are selling out all these, okay, vegetables, fruits, and everything? No, 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 don't do anything. Then don't, no, 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 don't do anything. Okay, collect all the tomatoes, collect all the potatoes, collect all the vegetables, collect every single thing, and make a curry and make the breads. Okay, and eat it. Okay, by community only. And you need to, yeah, and you need to destroy the concept of the society, and you need to build the concept of community. Okay, which makes you stronger, which makes you sharper, which makes you united for the rest of your life, irrespective of your religion, caste, creed, okay, gender, okay, gender or transgender, whatever it may be, I don't care. Okay, but it will make you united. That is what you need to do. Remember this thing. Yeah, good, good. Make sure. The agricultural lands, okay, teach the unemployed people and the people of every land, okay, to make sure that they help the farmers to give out the crops. Remember this thing. Okay, only, okay, the farmers who should have earned the billions and the billions, the farmers, okay, have the god has given them contract that you will cultivate the crops. Okay, has the god has given them contract? No, but still the farmers have taken the contract. Okay, remember this thing. Okay, remember, we all of us, we sit and eat for the rest of our lifetime without doing anything. We just pay out the pennies, we just pay it out, and the farmers, okay, they will give out the crops for us. Yeah, instead we need to help out the farmers. Instead we need to help out the engineers, we need to help the doctors, we need to help every single profession, and we need to build a society, and we need to eradicate this concept of money. Every single way, money, 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 money. What is this money? I don't care. Okay, this concept of money needs to be removed, and we need to go for society, and we need to bring back the barter system of trade. Yeah, barter system of trade. Yes, exactly. The barter system of trade is very, 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 very important. You need to understand this entire thing is very, very important to get out. Okay, to get to the money is, okay. This money has destroyed everyone's lives. This money is going to not make anyone everyone's life. Very again, this money is not this concept of money, this concept of wealth, this concept of asset, this concept of inflation, this concept of fractional banking systems, this concept of stocks, this concept of the wealthy people versus the rich people, the top 10% versus the bottom 90%. It is not going to make everyone's life. It is not going to make anyone's life very very easy for anyone. It is going to make everyone's life very very tough for everyone, and everyone will be doomed because the money moves in the wealthiest hands and it is going to be dried out in the poor's hands. Okay, it moves from the poor's pockets to the wealthy pockets, and the wealthy pockets are fulfilled, but still the wealthier wants the more and 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 more, and they are not going to get satisfied. They're not going to get satisfied. Okay, any single point of time, they're never ever, they're never ever, never ever, never ever going to get satisfied. Never ever they're going to get satisfied. I know that much. But this is why we need to eradicate the concept of money itself. Those who will work get the money. Those who will work, they will sit and eat. Those who will not work get lost. Yeah, those who work, yeah, they will get all the facilities. Those who will not work get lost. You are useless fellows. I will hit you with the crowbar. Get lost. Okay, this is how you need to understand the government needs to work. The government is going for, okay, I am teaching every single one. Okay, eradicate, remove the concept of, okay, United States dollars, okay, Swiss francs, all this euros, useless euros, useless dollars, useless euros, useless dollars, useless francs, useless rupees. Okay, my Indian rupees useless. Okay, every single useless Pakistani rupee useless. Okay, every single currency remove it and practice the barter system of trade. Okay, without exploiting African continent. My heart belongs to African continent. Okay, they are working really hard, but they are still exploited by the Western countries. Okay, you need to understand these people. They are very good people. They are very great people, but still they are exploited. Okay, first they are exploited by the slavery, and then their people are exploited by them. At least they know that they are exploited by the slavery. Okay, they are exploited by the Western colonialism, Western imperial colonialism. But we are not doing it. But we useless fellows. Okay, we useless fellows. Okay, we have been ruled by the Britishers. Okay, from almost 200 to 250 years. But we are not recognizing the fact that after we got the independence from the Britishers, we are being ruled by our own politicians in the name of corruption, every single thing. But still we are completely behind. Forget about Indians. We will never ever change. We will never ever develop. Okay, first of all, we will sit and fight for the rest of our lives. Okay, religion. I am Hindu. I'm Hindu. You are Muslim. I'm Brahmin. You are a ST. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, yes, exactly. Okay, I'm Hindu Lingayat, I'm Hindu this, I'm Hindu Lingayat, I'm Hindu this, this, that's. It is what it is. It is what it is. They will fight for reservations, they will fight for dharma, they'll fight, yeah, okay, and these people are Indian politicians. They're going to use it for the rest of their lifetime, and they will never going to stop. But we need to stop, but we will never ever stop. Okay, because we like fighting. We need entertainment. That's the reason. Okay, even if the God comes and says stop this, no, we will send the God to hell, okay, heaven, saying that, okay, we don't want it, we want entertainment, we want daily dose of entertainment. That's the reason we will fight. We want entertainment. We will fight against ourselves, and we will always, okay, be backward. Don't worry about us. Indians are always going to be backward. They are never ever going to be forward. And these useless people that are saying that we are going to be forward. No, we are never ever ever. We are never ever ever. We are never ever ever. Never ever going to be forward. You need to understand that. Yeah. Okay. Next. Now. The government needs to remove the private sector. The government needs to remove the private sector. The government will remove the private sector and says the government jobs are for everyone. The government is going to give you security for the rest of your lifetime. Take the government jobs. In my government, okay, if I become the president, if I become the, okay, chairman of the United States of America, or else the India, okay, I will make every single job as a government job. No more private corporate capitalism. Nothing. Useless things. The useless corporate capitalism has destroyed every single one. Okay, Remember this thing. You need a mixture of every single thing. You don't need the democracy. You don't need this capitalism because it is going to kill you everyone. That's the reason. Yeah. Okay. Now, what is remaining? What is remaining? What is remaining? I will tell. How to give out the work and make every single one's work very less and every single one's work very less. Lord, remember this thing. Remember this thing. In one particular ground, in one particular ground, if there are 100 people, if there are 100 people standing one by one, making a line, not lion, not means the king of the jungle, line, line, single line, yeah. Yeah, from there to here, okay, 100 people, they are standing in a line, that is a row. And if the people of the row, if they get transferred into the column, what will happen? The rows, which if it converts into the column, what will happen? If a single system of arrangement, if it converts, if a single system of arrangement, if it converts it from the rows into the columns, what will happen? A lot of space will be achieved, and this is going to make sure that these people are going to, the other set of 100 people are going to stand beside them. Yes, exactly. Okay, they are standing in a line. Whatever the people who are standing in line, make them, okay, tell to one particular person that, okay, let him carry that one person on his back, and another person, okay, and that person will carry the person on his back. Like this, make the system like this one, not this one. This system, if we make it, it will take out very less space. It means very small space it will take. The other people will, yes, exactly. Of course, the first one is going to die. You know that much. The first one who's going to be taking out the load of 99 people, exactly, he's going to get. Yeah, he's going to die. I know that much. Okay, that is not going to work. But I'm saying out the just an example. In marriages, what will happen? 100 chairs. 100 chairs are being arranged in row wise. Okay, you need to make sure that these chairs, which are arranged in the row patterns, you need to arrange them inside the columns. When you arrange them, okay, when you just arrange them by keeping one chair in the another chair, and another chair in the third chair in the second chair, and the fourth chair in the third chair, okay, like this, if you arrange it in the form of column, a lot of space will be created, the which saves a lot of ground to cover. That is the system which we need to understand in our lives. Always go for the column arrangement. Always go for the columns arrangement. Remember this thing. If you go in any particular village, and if you go to any particular city, anywhere, okay, the houses, they are completely like this. The houses. The houses, they are going to be completely, like this. Okay, which means they are occupying a hell of a space. If that is going to be in one particular big apartment, okay, if that is going to be in one particular big apartment, then what is going to happen? Okay, a lot of space is going to be achieved, which means, okay, yes, there is okay, and all these 10 people who are living in this particular 10 particular sections, they can live out, okay, in that particular 10. Yeah, understood. I think understood. I think you understood more than enough. You understood. Okay, means whatever the rows are there, remove the rows. Yeah, Make it in columns. That is why you need apartments. Apartments will save you a lot of space for the ground, which you need to understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but still I'm doing because I have to do it because I don't know what I'm doing, but still I have to do it. Okay, now this entire particular system of criteria which I have designed for the entire world. It can shape out the entire world. Okay, without cruelty, without hunger, without unemployment, without tension, without any frustration, giving out the fruits of the labor to every single one who will work honestly, will work loyally to develop the system for the good services for the citizens of one particular land. That is what we need to do. You don't need governments. You need the system to win. You don't need the governments to win. The governments, if they win, then you are going to lose. If the rich man is going to win, then you are going to lose. If the banks win, you are going to lose. That's the reason the common people of any particular land, they always lose, and these three big boys, they always win. That is why the system is like this. I'm saying this. This. Push. 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 Yeah. No. No. These people. No, these people. I don't know these people. Who these people are. The 7.2 billion people on this planet Earth. I'm working really hard in order to bring the smile to their lives, bring a meaning to their lives before I die. Because this is the work for not me, for 7.2 billion people, the bottom 90% of this planet, okay, which is going to have only 100 trillion in assets. They are 7.2 billion, only having 100 trillion in assets. 100 trillion US dollars in assets. Only the top 10%, the 800 million people, they're having 500, ladies and gentlemen, 500 trillion in assets. And you need to understand that this 100 trillion people, this 100 trillion US dollars is getting supplied to 7.2 billion dollars. Okay, 7.2 billion people in pennies, and that's the reason. And these pennies will go, and that too separately, and these people, they will accumulate they will accumulate all the money, okay, and they will give it to the same top 10%, because the top 10%, they have invested their wealth in the assets. You need the assets to okay, because the assets are going to appreciate the assets are going to appreciate over the period of a time. The assets are going to produce a revenue. Okay, the schools, the colleges, the medical institutions, okay, the wine stores, the real estate, every single thing on this planet, okay, it is going to produce a revenue because of the inflation systems designed by the evil bankers and evil governments and evil rich men and evil banks themselves. The fractional reserve banking systems, which is designed for inflation. The fractional reserve systems, which is built upon the scam of goldsmiths, okay, throughout, okay, almost before some 300 years ago. Okay, you need to understand that. The fractional reserve systems, which devaluate your currency every single point of time by supplying loan accounts out of thin air, creating a lot of competition in order to buy out single thing, okay, which makes your dollar value getting dropped each and every single minute of your lifetime. You need to understand that. Yeah. But you're not understanding that, but I don't know why. But you are not understanding, but you have to understand that. Yeah. Why? You are not understand. Why not understand? Why not understand? Because I think I have become a lot of problematic things. Because these people, they have exceeded their limit. They have exceeded their limit of sins. They have exceeded their limit of sins. They have destroyed all the limits of morality, and they have becoming the satanic god themselves. And that's the reason we don't need satans. We don't need satans. We need the humans to live on this planet Earth. Yeah, that is what we need to do. Now, the second thing of all the time, the second thing of all the time, which we need to have right now, I'm setting it. Okay, what is this? Now, how to develop the villages, how to give out the government jobs to everyone. First, how to develop the villages. Okay, the villages are going to be very very small, and the the villages are going to be very small, and at the same point of time they are depending upon the fertile agricultural lands, and the villages, they are going to have a lot of problems. They are going to have a hell of a problem because they they don't have okay, they don't have they don't have what exactly, they don't have proper healthcare, education, sanitation, sewage. Depending upon agriculture, monsoon rains are going to give them a lot of kickbacks, lot of setbacks, yeah, lot of kickbacks and lot of setbacks each and every single minute of their lifetime, because they have done enough of the enough, okay, sacrifices in order to live their life, but they are not going to bring their life because they are going to be destroyed by the upper class. Okay, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy, but still I have to, okay, talk like this in order to not to get sleepy. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, I've consumed a lot, I think. How are you? Fine. How are you? Fine. Yeah, I'm fine. You? Yeah. Now, okay, how to develop the villages? How to develop the villages in such a way? Remember this thing. Okay, you have to take out one fertile agricultural land or two fertile agricultural lands of some acres or some hectares. You need to understand that this land is very very important in order to construct one particular big apartments, in order to shift the people of the village in this apartments, making the entire village free of the population, so that you can destroy the houses, you can destroy all the houses, and you can provide the basic facilities, basic important luxurious facilities, into the village people, so that they cannot they okay they need to see some shows, they need to see some theater movies. They have to come to what, they have to come to, yeah, tell me, man. They have to come to what, they have to come to the they have to come to the they have to they have to come to the yeah, exactly, theaters. They have to come to the theaters. Yeah, okay. If they need hospitals, they need to come to the hospitals. Okay, to the city means, okay, they need to come. They need to go for education. Yes, exactly. So no proper education, no proper high education, or very less education, or exactly the healthcare, and at the same point of time multi-specialty hospital, and at the same point of time, okay. It's okay, there's no proper sanitation, sewage, gutter systems, okay, everywhere, and the gutter is flowing in the middle of the road, and at the same point of time the people are sitting beside only. So that type of systems are there, exactly. No proper roads, no proper infrastructure. Okay, a lot of villages are having a lot of problems, and we need to develop the villages, and that is the problem. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm sleeping. Okay, I have to be sleepy, but that's the reason I'm talking like this. I don't normally talk like this. Exactly. What to do? Okay, what to do? Okay, now tell me. No. Yeah. Now the most important part is the what is that? How to develop the exactly government assets. Why okay? Why there's a hell of a problem? Let us discuss first. This is the land. This is the land. Okay, this is the land. So lot of land. The 50 percentage of the entire land. The 50 percentage of the entire land. Okay, this is one particular land, full land. The 50 percentage plus the 20 percentage. The 50 percentage land is occupied with the houses. Okay, houses. The houses are very very important. The houses are very very important in order to provide the shelter. In order to provide the shelter for free to every single one on this planet. Okay, okay, which means the people who are living inside the houses, the people who are living inside the houses, okay, yeah, okay, they are not going to pay, okay, and if they are going to own that house, if they are going to own that house, and if they are going to stay in that house, the house is not going to pay for them, neither they are going to pay for their own house, which means that they are, okay, they are just coming and they are just resting in that particular place. That is a resting place for them, which means the 50% of the land, the 50% of the land is going to be occupied with waste things. That's a resting place for the citizens. That's a resting place for the citizens. What we call it as a home. That is not an asset, because an asset produces the revenue. That asset is not producing a revenue, which means that is a that is a dead body. That's a dead body. The asset which does not produce a revenue, it's called as a dead body. Okay, exactly, that's a dead body. Exactly. And then the fertile agricultural lands, the 50 to 55 percentage of the entire land of one particular city, or else or for one particular city or one particular state, or also one particular entire country, it's going to be covered with the it is going to be covered with the houses of the residents of the cities, houses or the residents, houses or the residents of the for the residents means for the people who are living in that particular land, and they are paying the taxes to the particular government of that particular state, that or the particular country. Okay, that is the important meaning. Okay, now next what? Okay, I'm going to tell it. The 50% or the 55 percentage of the entire particular land is going to be covered with the houses only. Houses only. And then the 15%, then the 15% is going to be covered with the fertile agricultural lands. Almost the fertile agricultural lands are going to be there in order to produce the crops. Okay, what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? The survival, which means you are sitting and resting. Okay, you are sleeping in your houses. That is survival, and you are eating. That is also survival plus consumption, in order to get the energy and in order to stay healthy and safe inside one particular system of land or a government or a country. Okay, that is means the 70% of one particular geographical land which holds the sovereignty of that particular land by the government of that particular country, it is going to be wasted. That 70% of the land, the 70% of the land is going to be getting wasted. It is going to be busted without producing the revenue. Okay, most of the times. Okay, except the fertile agricultural lands. Except the fertile agricultural lands. Remember this thing. Or else, if it is going to given for revenue, if it is going for given in the, if it is going for getting the revenue, it is going to for getting the revenue. If it is going for getting the revenues, then what will happen? Is that, okay, this houses will accompany this houses will accompany for the rent, means producing the revenues, which means, okay, this part will become these assets. The houses is also called as asset, but that house is going to produce the revenue in the form of rents, in the form of rent. Okay, which means if it is going to be owned and the same people are going to be living there, then that is not called as a revenue. Okay, that is not called as a revenue. That is a non-revenue producing asset, which means okay, that is a dead body. That's a dead body. Okay, and the dead body. That's the reason the dead body. And the what is the 30% remaining? The 30% is going to be produced with the revenue producing assets. The revenue producing assets of any particular land consist of the hotels, the restaurants, the wine stores, the schools, the colleges, the schools, the colleges, medical institutions, universities, okay, or tuition, factories, industries, production plants, textiles, garments. Okay, exactly this type of particular thing, it is going to be called as a revenue producing assets. Or sometimes pools, parties, discos, every single thing, it is going to be called as a revenue producing asset until it produces asset. That's a real estate for you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, which means right now I'm saying this right now. The hotels, schools, colleges, medical institutions, okay, malls, wine stores, factories, yeah, all this thing, okay, all this thing, it is going to be the most important thing for you. Okay, which is okay, the hotels, the schools, colleges, medical institutions, okay, yeah, malls, wine stores, factories, yeah, okay, every single thing is going to be important. But that is occupied. That occupies. But how much section is it is going to be occupied? 30%. 30 percentage. 30% out of 100%. That is 0.3 out of 1. Means probability 0.3. So exactly. So which means in 10, okay, if you consider it as a 10 acres of land, if you consider it as a 10 acres of land, in 10 acres of land, 7 acres of the land of that particular city, if you consider 10-acre city, the 7-acre city is occupied with the houses and the fertile agricultural lands. 50% is for 5 acre, the 5 acre, almost the 5 acre or the 5.5 acres. It is going to be consumed with the houses, the houses, the houses, and the 5, okay, the 1.5, it is going to be okay, it is going to be completely, it is going to be completely, it is going to be completely utilized. It is going to be completely utilized. It is going to be completely utilized. It is going to be completely utilized by the fertile agriculture lands, and the 30%, it is going to be utilized by the revenue producing the assets, Okay, now yeah, yeah, again, lot of hiccups. Yeah, a lot of sounds are coming from the stomach. A lot of things I have eaten it today. Okay, forget about that thing. Yeah. Now, if you draw the graph, and the pie chart, now if you draw the bar graph and the pie chart, okay, this is the land. Okay, okay, it is occupied by the what? Remember this thing. The houses means the houses, not just the houses. Okay, the houses, the shelter. That is the shelter. The roads, the bridges, the dams, the rivers, the rivers. Okay, exactly. And the transportation. For the transport, we'll be having what? The bus stands. Okay, where the bus will be accumulating. Okay, at one particular station. Which means there needs to be a bus stand which needs to be constructed. Which means that land will be also occupied. Okay, which means the bus stands, the houses, the roads, the bridges, the dams, the rivers. Exactly. Okay, all of these things, they become the part of that particular system, which is required for convenience and the survival, which is required for convenience and the survival. Okay, that is 50 percentage of the land is the 50 percentage of the land is consumed, and the 15% of the minimum, the 15% of the 15% of the land is consumed with the fertile agricultural lands, and the 30% and the 30% and the 30 and the 30% of the land, the 30% of the land is covered with the assets, almost the assets. The assets are what? The assets are what? Exactly. Again, the schools, colleges, and education institutions. Yeah, all these things. Yeah, all this. Okay. One, two, three. This is shelter roads. This much space is occupied. 55%. This is fertile agricultural lands. This is fertile agricultural lands. This is 15%. And this is the assets. 30% assets. Okay. Now. Okay, to survive and eat you have to work in the assets, the survival plus consumption. Okay, for the survival and consumption you need the jobs, and you get the jobs in the assets, and the assets are going to give you the salaries, and the salaries are going to give you the survival plus consumption. Remember, always remember, always remember, survival consumption, for survival plus consumption, for survival plus consumption of the goods and services for needs and desires, for survival plus consumption of, for survival plus consumption of, for the humans to get the goods and services in order to satisfy their demands and the needs and demands. Okay, they need to get the jobs, and they, why, where they will get the jobs? They will get the jobs in either in schools, colleges, colleges, education institutions, medical institutions, the universities, okay, the wine stores, the bars, the hotels, the restaurants, the factories, the industries, the production plants, textiles, garments, every single thing at the same point of time. Okay, which means exactly this particular set of this particular thing, you will get the jobs from this particular assets. Okay, which means the survival plus consumption of these goods and services, the survival plus consumption of the goods and services, okay, of any particular, okay, humans, okay, of the goods and services, okay, will directly go for the assets, will go for the directly assets. Okay, okay, because you, okay, because of the, because you will get the jobs there in order to work in the assets, and the salaries will be going to be provided with that particular thing. Okay. I'm fed up. Now, what is the solution? Okay, why there is a competition? Why it exists? I will tell you why the competition exists. The competition exists because I will tell you. Okay, the competition exists because the 50 percentage of the land, okay, is covered with the houses, roads, bridges, dams, rivers, seas, oceans, maybe sometimes, mountain ranges, maybe, the railway tracks, maybe, the parks, the railway tracks, the parks. Yes, exactly. All of this is going to consume the land. Yeah, all of these things, the post office, all of these particular things, they are going to consume the land without producing any asset, without producing any revenue, because these things, they are going to be for transportation, for convenience, and for survival. Those things which are built for survival, convenience, and ease of okay, okay, for the ease of the citizens of the land, they are not going to produce the revenue. Okay, they're not going to produce the revenue. Okay, exactly. The parks are not going to produce the revenue. The roads are not going to produce the revenue. The parks are not going to produce the revenue. The roads are not going to produce the revenue. Exactly. The bridges are not going to produce the revenue. The dams are not going to produce the revenue. The houses are not going to produce the revenue. Exactly. Maybe after one. Yeah, okay, the house tax will be there. We forget about that. That goes to the government. But I'm asking every single month, every single month. No, 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 no. Okay, that's not going to be there. Maybe the railway trains. Okay, the trains they are going to collect the fare. That is different. Okay, but most of these people, the bus stands. Okay, yeah, the buses they can collect the fare. So most of this they collect the fare. Okay, they collect make the revenue in very very small quantities. So from each and every single citizen. But mm, whereas the okay this entire particular thing called as this, you know what, this huge assets, the 30%, the big 30%, and the 15% fertile agricultural lands. Okay, always the ratio is always going to be 50, 55 is to 45. Always it is going to be 11 is to 9. 11 is to 9. 11 part belongs to the houses, the citizens, and the 9 part belongs to the agricultural lands and the assets. The agricultural land is going to be there for survival. Okay, that is not a government job. Okay, why there is a lot of demand for the government job? Because there is the existence of the private sector, and not every single job is a government job. And how many government schools are there? How many government assets are there out of this 100%? Maybe maximum some 7% to 8%. Maybe some exactly from okay, maybe some ranging from 5% to 8%. That is the range of government offices, government offices, government accountancy offices, government schools, government colleges, government medical institutions, government medical institutions, government medical colleges, and at the same point of time, exactly the government, okay, other government sections will be there, and which means the government sections they are going to be completely they're going to be completely dissolved. Okay, they're going to be completely very very less. They're going to be very very less. Okay, which means this government sections they are going to be very very less. They're going to be very very less. Okay, now yeah, which means the government sections are very very less, and the private sector is very very more. Okay, exactly. And because of this, all of the people they want the government securities, government jobs, the government jobs which is a secure job from the government, that is not going to be taken away from you. Okay, if that thing is going to be there, so a lot of competition will be there because the population is getting very high, especially in the countries like India. Okay, in my country, a lot of demand for the government jobs is there because the population is very very high, and at the same point of time the coaching facilities, every single thing has become almost commercial. Every single thing has been commercial, and you know yeah, the government, and at the same point of time the government hospitals, the government engineers, all these people are there. The government contractors, government engineers, government doctors, every single one. Okay, they are part of one particular ecosystem called as the government jobs, and these jobs they account for some 8% to 9%, and the private sector it is always going to be high, that's 20% to 22% or 21% to 22% or 23%. So exactly like this. But for this 7% or 8% of the government sector's jobs in one particular land, entire population is going after that, so that makes the government jobs very very tough. The government jobs especially, exactly, you understood? Yeah, you understood the game. So this is how a lot of I'm taking a lot of time to make you understand. But if you don't understand, okay, then it's your loss. I don't care. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay. Yeah. Now, okay, what is the solution to give up the government jobs? Construct the government assets. Remember, when you go to the markets in any one particular location, what you'll find the complexes, the private complexes. Okay, okay, in the ground floor, which is at the ground, completely down. Okay, you can find the mobile shops. You can find out the mobile repairing services. Out okay, in the first floor, you can find the photo studios. Okay, you can find the photo studios, and in the third floor you can find out some dentist, okay, who is doing the jobs, which means okay, which means the ground floor, it is making the mobile phones, is operating on the mobile phones. Second one is operating on the clicking the pictures of the photo studio, and the third one is operating on the, yeah, the tooth, the dentists. Okay, which means these three are different professions. These three are different professions, and these things, they only exist in the markets. These things, they exist only in the markets. Then why not in the colonies? Exactly. The government needs to understand, okay, the sovereignty of the land will never ever be destroyed, okay, by anyone. So what we need to do in order to provide the government jobs to everyone, make the complexes in the houses only. We have to do that. Definitely. Means, okay, in the floor, okay, always remember, the God has given you the questions of poverty, hunger, unemployment, pain, suffering, every single thing inside this life, inside this world, inside this huge amount of life. So which means he is not caring for you. So in order to make sure, okay, but he has given you, okay, but he has given you the blank sheet. He has given you something called as a blank sheet. What is a blank sheet? This is the blank sheet, and you can fill out any pattern, any answer, and you can fill out any answer. You can fill out any answer. You can fill out any answer, sir. You can fill out any answer here. Which means, remember this thing. The God has given you the question paper of poverty, hunger, unemployment, poverty, hunger, unemployment, every single thing. Okay, exactly, pain, suffering, frustration, tension, everywhere. So which means he has given out a lot of questions, but the humankind needs to sit, and the humanity needs to sit and answer those questions with a carefully. And the governments need to understand that the humanity should prevail, not the rich ones. Not the rich ones who is going to make the poor man his bitch or her bitch. Okay, it is not going to work. It's never ever going to work, because we need to understand these people, they are evil. Most of the times the people are evil only. They are not good. They are never ever good. I'm an evil man. I'm an evil man. I'm not a good man, but still I understand this entire thing. I'm not a good man. Why I'm not a good man? Okay, because seeing all these things, even I have to become evil only in order to understand this depth of their greed, in order to understand the depth of evil venom. Okay, you need to understand, you need to become evil in order to penetrate inside and see what is going on. Yes, exactly. Only a thorn can kill a thorn, not a flower. Only a thorn, only a thorn can kill another thorn. Exactly, but not, or else a knife, or else a knife, or else a scissor or a knife, or else a thorn is required to break another thorn. But, or else pinch another thorn. But, okay, but not even a single flower. But not even a single flower has destroyed the thorn, because the thorn is powerful. The thorn is almighty. Remember this thing, the thorn is very, very important. The thorn has become very, very highly powerful. In order to destroy the Thor, you have to become a Thor. You have to become a Thor. Thorn. Mulla. Kante. Exactly. We need to become a Thor. We need to become a Caesar. We need to become a Caesar. We need to become knife. Okay, we need to become axe in order to cut the Thor in our road, in order in front of our destiny, okay, into pieces, shatter into pieces, and you have to move forward. That is what we need to do, but we are not doing that. But because we need to understand these people, they are very, 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 very important. Yeah, so we need to make sure this important people need to be served first. 7.2 billion people, they are getting destroyed each and every single day by their own governments. Okay, because their governments, they don't care exactly for them. Okay, they are going to provide the facilities, and they are going to take away every single thing from them, to the bills, taxes, fines, every single day of their lifetime. The rich ones, he's going to create a monopoly, he's going to loot from them. The banks are going to loot them from the interest. The banks are going to loot them with the interest rates for that particular money which they don't have in the first place. The banks, the central bank, which are the part of the same central bank system, the same central Rothschild, systems of banking, they are never ever okay going to create, never ever having the money, but they are creating the money out of thin air, and they are charging the interest on the top of that, and the people have to pay out the real money, okay, for the money which does not exist in the real timeline, real space. That is the first thing. And the second thing is what the rich man is going to create a monopoly. Exactly, you have to pay out for him, and the government is going to collect the taxes, bills, fines, taxes everywhere. Yeah. Tariffs, yeah, the tariffs, the custom duties. Everywhere you go, you are getting destroyed by the government. You are going to get destroyed by the banks. You are going to get destroyed by the rich man's problem, which rich man's capitalism and the monopoly. That is what it is. That's why this entire life it is becoming very tough to understand for the common man. You need to understand. Yeah. So in order to do that, we have to provide the, in order to provide, okay, in order to, yes, exactly. Okay, we have to provide the security. We have to provide the security to the people. Okay, like this. Okay, remember this. Okay. This is the ground floor. This is the houses. Okay, this is the second. The hospital is there, and the government hospital is there. This is the government paperwork, government accountancy office. This thing. Okay. Okay, remember this thing. Okay, the build floors. Okay, conversion of the houses into the colonies. Okay, conversion of the houses inside the colonies into the government complexes. Conversion of the houses inside the colonies into the government complexes. Okay, which convert, okay, government complexes means government assets. Government assets means government employment opportunities. I will repeat the statement again. The conversion of the houses inside the colonies into the government complexes, okay, which means, okay, which gets converted into the government assets, which gets converted into the government employment opportunities. Okay. Okay, load of risk. Okay, everyone, okay, remember this thing. What is the risk? Okay, there is a load. Okay, work risk. Okay, load. Okay, what is the workload? That's workload and a risk load. Okay, okay, if one man is going to handle 1000 or 10,000 applications, okay, 10,000 applications means, okay, and if 10 people are going to get designed, he's going to just see only 1000 applications, which means, okay, his work is getting reduced, and at the same point of time 10 people, extra people are going to get the employment opportunities. That is what I am saying, this thing. That is what I am saying, that one man needs not be destroyed, okay, with a lot of work, and at the same point of time everyone is going to get employed, and everyone is going to fulfill their destiny with their lives. That is what we need to make sure, that we need to give out the employment opportunities to everyone, and we need to make every single job as the government job, not private job. Yeah. But I think, okay, that's the only way. That's the only way. Okay, and at the same point of time, okay, okay, and at the same point of time, remember, and at the same point of time, you need to connect this, okay, this first floor of the, which means, okay, my house is this, my house is this one, and my neighbor's house is okay, my neighbor's house is here, my neighbor's house is, okay, here. So the first floor of my house is connected with the first floor of the my neighbor's house, with using a small tunnel, so that the, okay, any doctor, okay, the first floor of my house is getting okay, if it gets converted into the government hospital, if the first floor of my neighbor's house, okay, here, okay, the first floor of my neighbor's house, the first floor of my neighbor's house, okay, is getting converted into the government hospital. The first floor of my house is getting converted to the government hospital. And in between, okay, the first floor of my neighbor's house, in between the first house, in between the first floor of my house, okay, there will be a small connection. And when there is a small connection, okay, what will happen? If when there is a small connection, when there, okay, okay, when there is a small connection, what will happen? Okay, what will happen? Okay, the doctor can move easily from one place to another place. The doctor can move easily from one place to another place. And okay, he does not have to climb, okay, he does not have to, okay, climb the steps, okay, down, okay, he does not need to, okay, go to the steps, means he needs to, okay, okay, climbing up, okay, going down, he does not need to go down from the through the steps, okay, from my neighbor's house. And he does not need to come here, and he does not need to, okay, climb up the steps, okay, climb the steps up, okay, he can go through the tunnel only like this. Okay, so that's the reason you need to give out the connectivity here, 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 like this. Okay, you can give out this entire, you can make sure, and you can make sure you can give out the government jobs. You can give out the government jobs to the people who are unemployment. Exactly. Okay, because you don't have the, okay, you don't have the land. You don't have the land to build out the assets, because the government needs the buildings. And okay, the buildings cannot be in air, because that does not have magic. Okay, the government, it needs to understand, okay, it needs the buildings, it needs the buildings to be on the land, and the land is very very small. And at the same point of time, okay, and at the same point of time, the government builds all the buildings. Okay, then where the people will go? So okay, the government, the people need to have the houses. So that's the reason. Okay, the government needs to understand, that these people, okay, that these people, they need to, okay, that the people need to have the employment opportunities. And at the same point of time, okay, and at the same point of time, they need to have a security also. So okay, upon the security officers for these houses inside the colony, I'm talking about the colonies, not in the markets. In the markets there are, okay, complexes. You can build the complexes inside the colony only. Okay, and you can give out the rents, a small part of rent as a secondary income to the house owners. Okay, so that because their peace is getting destroyed, because a lot of people are coming from the states, they are moving from the states to states. Okay, exactly, lot of disturbance is there. So okay, exactly, that's the reason. That's the reason. That's the reason it creates a secondary source of income for the house owners. And at the same point of time, it gives out the employment opportunities. It gives out the employment opportunities for every single one, okay, who is involved. That is also there. That is also there. Hmm? Hmm? Exactly, because a lot of government. Okay, what is asset? So remember this thing. The government work can be done everywhere. Okay, the parks. Remember this thing. Okay, who is going to be there inside the park from 10 to 5? Only few people. Exactly. So remember. Okay, okay, from 10 to 5. Okay, these people can build out the tents, and they can work inside the tents. Okay, through the exactly. What they need the system, they need the server, they need the system, they need the server, and they need electricity. Remember this thing. All these government facilities, all these government assets, all these government hospitals, they need what? The electricity, the system, the system, and the server. Okay, most of them. Okay, the government offices, okay, the government accountancy offices. Exactly. Okay, which, if the paperwork is not involved. Here in India, paperwork is involved most of the times, but in other countries, electronical work is involved. So that's the reason we need to understand. Okay, the electricity, the server, and the systems are required in order to build out this thing. Only two problems are, one is gas, the gas cylinders. It is going to be blasted and the entire building goes down. The second thing is the second thing is what? The second thing is the pipe, the length of the pipe house. The length of the pipe is directly proportional. The length of the pipe is directly proportional to the electricity. If the pipes are going to get extra because of the establishment of the first floor, second floor, third floor, and the fourth floor out of the people's houses, means I'm talking about the people's houses, not about anyone. The people's houses, out of the people's, okay, the people are getting the people are getting they're sacrificing their own house, okay, in order to build out the people are sacrificing, the people are coming out and saying that the other people of the my land, they need to get the jobs. So that's the reason you can build out the, okay, you don't have land but you have the air. Okay, you don't have land, you don't have rows right now, you have columns, you can build out in the columns. Okay, you can build out the columns. Okay, remember this thing, the soil, okay, remember this thing, the soil and the land, okay, it can sustain up to 4 to 5 or 3 to 4 to 5 floors. Then but lot of but the soil, but it is going to getting, but remember this thing, but remember this people need to understand that these entire houses or buildings, they are going to get destroyed. Means this people entire people needs to understand that since the people does not have enough money to build out the second floor or the third floor or the fourth floor or the fifth floor, second floor or the third floor or the fourth floor or the fifth floor, they have not built the second floor or third floor, but or the first floor. Okay, but most of the houses, they are having only ground floor inside India, maybe inside America, maybe inside India also, but maybe inside okay, America, may be inside in the Russia, may be inside in, okay, Europe. Okay, but these people need to understand only the ground floor they are living in, but not the first floor. But remember this thing, in the first floor they are not constructed the houses, only syntaxes are there, only syntaxes are there. Okay, remember this thing, remove the syntaxes and shift that into fifth floor, okay, fifth floor, but construct the second floor, construct the first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. Okay, because the government has the money but the people does not have money, and in return the government will give out them the monthly rents. And at the same point of time, these people, okay, the four floors, inside the four floors of the whatever the constructions has been constructed, okay, these people, many people can get the employment opportunities from the governments itself, inside the colonies. Remember this thing, inside the colonies, exactly. The people of the normal people houses can be converted into the government offices, exactly, normal people houses, because because they have not built out the first floor, second floor, third floor, for the fourth floor and the fifth floor. Okay, but the soil and the land can sustain that much, the soil and the land can sustain that much development. So we can go for that particular system of, okay, system of equations, and we can build out, and in between and in between one house, and in between the one house first floor and the second floor, and in between the neighbors first floor and second floor, there should be a connection in order to make sure that these people, whoever are there, okay, okay, and in the first floor, if the government hospital is constructed, and okay, then in the neighbors first floor, the government hospital is going to be constructed, because so that the doctor who is going to come for inspection, he can move out from one tunnel to another tunnel, tunnel to another tunnel, without having to go down, without need going to go down from one house and going to climb up in the another house. Okay, without having to go down, in one particular house, and without having to climb up in the another house. That is what we need to bring, because the government jobs are very very important, the government employment opportunities are very very important. Okay, but okay, since it does not have we don't have enough land, because most of the land is you consumed for survival and consumption. Okay, and the other 30% are having, since everyone is chasing the government jobs, okay, lot of people are having lot of problems. So that's the reason the government needs to construct the government hotels, government hospitals, okay, the government, um, okay, schools, okay, the first floor government hospitals, the second floor the government schools. Okay, remember this thing, the children can move easily from tunnel to tunnel, okay, from one tunnel to another tunnel in the second floor, the first floor government hospital, second floor government schools, and third one the government official work. So like this, exactly, the people can make sure, that these people are very very, okay, are very very important for the, hmm, maintenance. So this is very very important for all of you to understand the game. Okay, remember this, all of you need to understand that these particular systems are very very important in order to construct the assets, and in order to construct the government assets, and so that the employment opportunities needs to be given, and to remove the private sector and once for all. That's the thing. Okay, with this, yeah, exactly. Okay, with this I conclude my speech. Okay, and in the next section I will conclude okay okay, this is the first, okay, this is the only way, okay, how to do it. Okay, exactly. Hmm. Okay, we need to go for the colony houses because there is no land left. There is no land left. Okay, remember this. And even though land is constructed, that is going to consume a lot of land, and only a few jobs are going to be constructed. Okay, remember this thing. Since there are many houses, and we have to construct, and the houses are not going to produce the revenue. The houses are not going to produce the revenue. So we need to make the houses to produce the revenue. We need to make the houses to produce the revenue. How to make the houses to produce the revenue? By building out the assets in the first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. Okay, by giving the contracts, by giving out the contracts to the people, by giving out the, okay, by selecting the, by asking the permission of the people, by taking out the permission of the people. Exactly. And then we can build out the government hospitals, government schools, exactly, government accountancy offices. Okay, in the first floor, in the second floor, in the third floor, in the fourth floor, just like the market complexes, okay, we can build out in the colonies. Okay, we can build out in the colonies. Okay, we can build out in the, okay, colonies where the people live, with each other, where the people live with another set of people inside the houses, because they are not going to, because they are not going for the third floor or second floor or the first floor. We can utilize this. Okay, remember this thing, the blank sheets. Okay, the blank sheets, the God has not given huge land, but he has given you the huge air. Remember, he has not given you the land, he has not given you huge land. He is not given you huge land, because he is saying make utilize the use of land and all. Okay, you have made utilize of land, but you have to make utilize of air right now. You have made utilize of land. The land is in the column, the land is the row, but the air is the column. Okay, the land is the row, okay, forget about the row, what I said, the arrangement should not be in row, the arrangement should be in the column. Okay, forget about the rows. Okay, now take about the columns. Now the column is what? The air is free, which means you can construct the first floor, second floor, third. That means you can construct the first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, exactly, and the fifth floor syntax, exactly. So to construct to make the water to come from the taps to taps, so which means, okay, you can construct every single thing, exactly. From this, okay, let me conclude my speech. Okay, let me conclude all these things, whatever I said. Okay, make you, okay, you have to go with this video, okay, very carefully for a lot of bit of time.